All right, so let's get into it. We're talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Boston Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's funny because when you think Celtics, you think Lakers.
Right, that classic rivalry.
Right, exactly. And the Timberwolves, they haven't had that kind of storied history.
Of course, with the Celtics.
With the Celtics, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Celtics have like 45 wins against the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves only have 22 wins.
That's a pretty big gap.
It's a big gap. And, we've got some excerpts in a blog post here about it. And I was kind of curious to kind of unpack this. Like, are the Celtics just that much better? Or, is it like, what's the deal?
Yeah, it's interesting because when you see that sort of win disparity, you immediately think, okay, this is a classic sort of David and Goliath story.
Right.
The Celtics are just this juggernaut, this team that's been around forever, and the Timberwolves are just struggling to catch up. But I think when you dig a little deeper, it's actually a little bit more interesting than that. Because, for one thing, the Timberwolves are a much newer team.
Yeah.
They haven't been around as long as the Celtics. So I think those early years definitely contribute to that sort of lead that the Celtics have built up.
Well, I see what you're saying.
But I think what's more interesting is can these two teams, despite not having this classic rivalry, can they actually develop one in the future?
Okay, so let's back up a little bit then.
Sure.
Their first game ever was on January 8th, 1994, which predates the Kevin Garnett era.
Right.
So were there any kind of interesting takeaways from those first couple of games that they played against each other?
Well, I mean, those first couple of games, obviously the Timberwolves were still finding their footing. They were a new team, and they were coming up against, the Celtics at that point were, already established as a powerhouse.
Right.
In the league. So, I think it was definitely a learning curve for the Timberwolves in those early matchups.
Yeah, they're probably getting their butts kicked, huh?
Yeah, there were some tough losses for sure.
Yeah.
But I think what's important to remember about even those early losses is that there were still seeds being sown.
What do you mean?
The Timberwolves, even though they were losing, they were developing their identity as a team.
Oh.
And you could see flashes of the talent that would eventually, make them contenders later on.
Okay, so let's jump ahead then to a game that really stood out to me.
Okay.
March 8th, 2007. It was a double overtime thriller.
Oh, wow.
And the Celtics won 124-117.
Wow, okay.
Pretty close.
Yeah, that's a nail-biter.
So it wasn't just like, the Celtics dominating.
Right.
The Timberwolves were right there with them.
Yeah.
So what happened? Like, what made that game so exciting?
Well, that game was, just a classic back-and-forth battle. You had Kevin Garnett, putting up just a monster double-double for the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
But on the other side, you had Paul Pierce for the Celtics, and he was just unstoppable that night.
Oh, wow.
He was hitting clutch shot after clutch shot.
Really?
And it just went back and forth like that.
Wow.
Both teams just trading blows, right down to the wire. It was one of those games where you really just couldn't predict who was going to come out on top.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I think it really showcased the offensive firepower of both teams.
Okay, that's really cool. So their most recent matchup was November 24th, 2024.
Oh, okay.
And the Celtics won again.
They did.
They did. 108-96.
Yeah.
So that extends their winning streak against the Timberwolves to 5 games.
Oh, wow.
But I have a question for you because I'm looking at the source material, and it says that Celtics safety Kirby Joseph had like a really pivotal interception.
Wait, hold on. Did you say safety?
Yeah.
An interception?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure those are football terms.
Yeah, I know.
That's interesting.
So, I don't know. Is this like a typo or?
Well, you always have to be careful about taking things at face value.
Right.
Maybe it was just a simple mistake, but it's always worth, doing a little bit of digging, doing your own research.
Right.
Maybe Kirby Joseph is some sort of secret two-sport athlete that we don't know about.
Maybe.
Who knows?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Okay, so aside from that, Jason Tatum had 31 points for the Celtics.
Okay.
And Anthony Edwards had 27 for the Timberwolves.
Oh, right.
But there was one key player that was missing for the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And that was Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, he was out.
He was out with an injury, yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know, do you think that impacted the game? Like, do you think if he had played, it would have been different?
Oh, without a doubt, Karl Anthony Towns, he's a game changer.
Yeah.
He's a dominant force in the paint. His scoring ability, I think it definitely have had an impact on the Timberwolves strategy and possibly even the outcome of the game.
Yeah, that's interesting. So we've looked at all this stuff. We've looked at the history, the individual games.
Yeah.
We've looked at the key players. Do you think that there's a possibility that these two teams could develop a real rivalry?
I think the potential is definitely there.
Go.
Like we've seen, they've had some incredibly exciting and close matchups.
Yeah.
Both teams have really passionate fan bases.
Right.
I think what might be missing is that sort of historical animosity that fuels some of those like really classic rivalries.
Right.
Like the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yeah.
But I think rivalries can also emerge organically.
Okay.
And I think if the Timberwolves and the Celtics keep putting on shows like that double overtime thriller that we were talking about back in 2007.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see a new rivalry blossom.
I love it. So to everyone listening,
Mm-hmm.
next time you see a Timberwolves-Celtics game on the schedule, don't write it off.
Definitely not.
It could be a close game. It could be like a high-scoring shootout.
For sure.
And it could be like the start of something really interesting.
Absolutely. And keep an eye out for that Kirby Joseph guy, just in case he really is playing both basketball and football.
Totally. I'm going to be looking out for that.
I think we all should.
So what do you think? If you were making the NBA schedule, would you put these two teams up against each other more often?
That's a good question, and I think it's one that all the listeners should consider.
Think about it. It could be really fun.
It really could.
Well, that's all the time we have for our deep dive today, but thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
It was fun.
Yeah.
All right, see you later.
See ya.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.